In the 1960s, one of the most famous plastic surgeons made an incredible discovery that completely changed his practice, but also his life. You see, he was wondering why he could do two sets of surgery that are exactly the same, right? Uplifting the face, new boobs, whatever. And both person, man or woman, will look absolutely amazing. And for one person, they will wake up, they will see the change, and they will light up. Their whole personality will change. They will become more outgoing, more confident, more extroverted, more in love with themselves. It would have a dramatically positive impact on their life. And yet, for the second group of people, nothing changed. All they could see was still the imperfection, still the insecurity, still needed more change, still shy, still insecure, still struggling. And so he was wondering, why is it that one group reacts so well and the other group seems like it's only getting worse and worse? And this is when he discovered the self-image psychology. And he started to understand that it's not really about the external change, although that was a plus, but as long as the internal representation of the person, the inner thought, the inner belief, the inner self-image didn't change, no matter how good the result, no matter how good it looks, the person will only see what they can see in their mind. So everybody could tell them, man, you look great, beautiful, sexy, right? But if they can't see it, if they can't feel it because of that emotional scar, those old beliefs, those old deep insecurities, they will not actualize it. And so he started to deep dive into the power of the self-image, and he wrote a fantastic book, Psycho-Cybernetics, right? And he went on to deep dive to become one of the best authors and speakers on the subject. But the key here is to realize the power of a self-image. Everything starts with the way you see yourself. And this is not only in terms of how you see your body, although that's very important to cultivate a healthy relationship with your body, right? A lot of people struggle with social shyness, being self-conscious, needing to wear makeup, filters, and so on. You see that all the time on social media. But what's deeper than that is to realize that how you see yourself affects also your relationship, affects your work, affects the money you make, affects how you show up in your world. And as long as your image of yourself is still negative, is still weak, you're still belittling yourself, you still have the doubt, you're still repeating those old beliefs, those old emotions over and over and over again, it doesn't matter how much things you achieve or accumulate or do outside of you. It doesn't even matter how much people can praise you. You see that with famous stars, with famous people who have all the money in the world, they have all the fame, they have all the love they can get, and they still don't go and kill themselves, right? So as long as between yourself, you don't create that relationship, you don't see the truth of who you really are, you don't make that connection to be like, you know what? I am better than that old thought, than that old experience, than that old trauma that I had, than that old thing that happened to me. I am not those things. I am not defined by what happened to me, by my upbringing, by all those unfortunate situations. I can choose to change the way I think about myself. I can choose to change the way I feel about myself now. And I can start to redefine myself. And I can start to experience my life in a completely different level of mind. And when you do that, the most significant transformation happens because everything revolves around how you see yourself and your relationship with yourself. I used to struggle so much feeling like an imposter when I changed from being a scuba diving instructor to starting my own business and coaching others. I felt like fake. I felt like somebody's going to find out, nobody's going to work with me, I'm too young, I'm too this. What is that? It's a transition from how I used to know myself, how other people used to know me, into a completely different role, different position. And a lot of people who feel fake, feel like an imposter, feel like, oh my God, I don't deserve this, is because they never make the transition to embody who I am now. They never give themselves the permission to believe in themselves, to be like, you know what? This is who I am now. You don't like it? Deal with it. And the reason why con artists con so many people is because they believe in the insane story they created, in the insane persona they created. They're fully in the character, they're fully acting it out. It is so real in their mind that it becomes a reality and other people buy into it, because the person who has the most certainty about who they are often influence people around them, and people start to see them the way they see themselves. So often what I tell to my clients when they're struggling with self-doubt, with unworthiness, and they wonder why other people treat them in a certain way or why life is unfair, I tell you, well, if you think you're only worth so little, what is life supposed to give you? Life is a mirror. It's only reflecting, echoing back to you your relationship with yourself. Life doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you are. If you feel like life is tough and people are tough and they're gonna cheat on you and take advantage of you and money is hard to make and the world is bad, if you have a relationship like this with the world and with yourself, you will echo and manifest those things. You will bring them to life. You will see them because your mind will only show you reality through the lenses of what you're experiencing. And so that those two women or those two people who go through the plastic surgery, no matter how beautiful they may look externally post-surgery, if they can't see it, if they can't think about it, if they can't feel it, they will keep on feeling the same old way, feeling miserable and so on. But on the other hand, when they start to think greater and they start to see the beauty and they start to light up, their whole entire reality lights up with them. The good news is that you don't need a plastic surgery. All you need is a mental change, a mental plastic surgery of the thought, the mental image, and how you think and feel about yourself. And if you can do that and you can mentally rehearse being different, feeling different, valuing yourself, thinking greater of yourself, letting go of all the toxic judgmental thoughts that you may have about yourself, and you do that for 30 days just to prove it to yourself, just to find out what would happen in 30 days if I'm starting to love myself like so much more. Like what would happen over 30 days if I was starting to see myself in that light? Do it for 30 days, change your self-thought, change that image of yourself, change how you see yourself, and see what happened in 30 days. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Be well.